Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and today we are on the Print on Demand Challenge. Oh my gosh, day 31, 41, 41. So today, tomorrow we are actually going to talk about creating clusters and multiples. But today I do want to talk to you about outside of Etsy, what are the additional options you have available to you? So since we are starting with Canva as a baseline for designing products, and we are going to have a session, I think Thursday or Friday, where we talk about other suppliers or other sources to be able to create your designs. And we did talk about that at the beginning, but we're going to add some more to that list and talk about some more options. In addition to that, outside of Etsy, there are other ways in which you can showcase and sell your products. So we've talked about showcasing and selling them, sharing your listings across other platforms, acquiring all of your social media assets where you have the opportunity to do so. So then that way, when people are looking for your store, especially if you're building a brand, you've got a catchy name, that there's some level of continuity and people can find you across all social media platforms, thereby knowing that your store is active, that you are really selling, and that they can potentially trust you. That is one of the key characteristics of what people are doing these days when they're looking at brands, because people have learned, especially with the pandemic, that anyone can throw up a store, anyone can sell some stuff, and then you wonder why you haven't received your stuff and you think it's legitimate and you discover that it's not. So if you do a really great job of figuring out what your brand is going to be, and yes, your brand can change and evolve over time, but if you decide what your brand is going to be and you want to establish that longevity, so that people can trust you, know, like, and trust, or at least feel comfortable about purchasing stuff from you. If they go to Facebook and they can find you, and they go to Instagram and they can find you, and they go to Pinterest and they can find you, and you go to different platforms and they can find you, it's like, okay, this is probably a legitimate shop and I'm good. The one thing about Etsy is that, you can see how many sales that store has gotten, and you can also see how long they've been in business. So my Etsy accounts, both of my Etsy accounts are old. They're older than 2020. I feel like one of them's like 2017 maybe, or something like that. But my sales are really low. So that may make me suspicious to someone that wants to buy from me. And they may not be interested in buying from me because of that. And then, you may have a store where you're the same boat, and it's okay. We're still going to work to overcome those challenges. So what I wanted to do is just talk to you about some of the characteristics of a best-selling $1 million Etsy store. Now, we could say 1,000 near, not maybe not $1 million, but $1,000 Etsy store for sure. And one of the characteristics is focusing on a niche. At the beginning of this journey, I asked everyone to just tell me something that they're passionate about, because we all do a better job of either finding products, creating products, developing, designing products about things that we know or things that we're aware of. I am a Black female. I have gray hair and I have 2 special needs kids. So I could go after products that I sell to Black females. I could sell it to females that are over 50. If I want to say that that's my avatar, it doesn't have to necessarily be Black females. I can just say females. So I could go after products to serve or sell to females. I could go after products to sell to single moms who have special needs kids. I could go after products to sell to parents who have special needs kids. I can go after special needs products. I can go after so many different things because I know about those things. And so the more you know about a specific niche that you're going after, and the more passionate you are about it, the better the chances are that you'll discover multiple ways in which to serve that group or audience. So one of the characteristics of having a high performing store, whether it be on Etsy or any other platform, is that you have a focused niche. When someone comes to your store, and let's say you have a general store, if they are looking for, let's say in your store, you are selling dog leashes. If they are looking for dog leashes, and specifically dog leashes for small dogs, if there's an Etsy store out there that specializes in only dog leashes and different varying sizes and different strengths. And maybe they got the neon glow in the dark dog leash if you want to walk your dog at night. Like maybe they have a bunch of different options that are available to them because they're selling dog leashes. And yes, you can do print on demand dog leashes. There's a store out there that has them. Also, there's one for cat leashes as well. But in any case, there's a higher probability that if my store is sitting next to and in the search results another store, because remember, Etsy is a search engine, there's a high probability that they're going to pick the other store because that is their focus. Their focus is dog leashes. So by default, they will get more sales for that focused niche. So whatever you decide, long-term big picture, you can decide that you're not going to stick with your current niche, and that's fine. You can change it over time, but at some point, you need to figure out where you want to settle in and what you want to focus on long-term so that way you can build that out. So those that have a focused niche, they see consistent store sales and they grow at a much faster rate because they are able to provide variations on that niche. They're able to find complementary products for that niche. They're able to do so much more because of the fact that they know that area pretty well, whatever that topic is, area, product, whatever it happens to be. So they would be perceived as an expert, whether they are or are not an expert. Like I never say that I'm an expert on autism. I just am a mom that has 2 special needs kids. So I know about autism and I know about my journey and several other families' journeys, but autism is a very unique thing. So I can't say that I know everything, but the perception of my store may appeal to those families who have autistic children versus someone that is selling a bunch of other things and they happen to have some, stickers that are for those who have autistic children. There's a higher probability that I will get the traffic over that other person because the front end of my store looks like I might know a little bit more about serving this community or about the products. So I want you to think about that and think about what it is, your niche, how it will serve your avatar. An avatar is the audience or the customers that are going to come buy your product. The customers who might be interested in your product, they're called avatars. And so whoever those customers are that might be interested in your product, they want to make sure that they're buying from someone that truly either is serving them, focused on them, what they need, or specializes in their needs. So think about that long term. You need to have a focused niche. And again, you can modify your store and offer a few different things. But if you start off with a focused niche and you stay in that realm, you can always open up a second store, or you can have another section where it's not on the main page, where you have a bunch of other products that you sell. You decide how you want to lay out your store. The next one is that the high performing stores, they have a brand. And so we've talked about how to establish your brand, a brand that is memorable, a brand name that's memorable, something about the name, and the logo and all of that fun stuff. So we've gone through that exercise of establishing your brand and what are the things you need to consider when establishing your brand. So I want you to think about that because my goal, my wish, my prayer for you is that you'll actually have a high performing store before this is done, whether it be on Etsy or somewhere else, because we're going to talk about other platforms. Then they have a lot of listings. Creating one listing a day, every single day, by the end of the year, you would have 365 listings. If you do 2 listings a day, you will have 730 listings. So consistency is the key, and you can grow your business at that pace by just being consistent. You could grow your store much faster and accelerate this process by putting up more volume. I learned about selling volume from eBay when I first started selling online. I mean, I was selling online before, but it was different then. So with eBay, when I would talk to those people who were doing really well on eBay, it was because they had a lot of listings. By default, they would get more sales. If you think about, and I've used this analogy many times over the years, When you go into Walmart, people aren't going to Walmart because they have 10 things in the store. They're not going to Walmart because they have 50 things in the store. They're going to Walmart because there's a lot of stuff that's in the store. Now, we're focusing on a niche, so we're not trying to be the general store, but there's more than one item. So when someone is going to a candle store to buy some stuff, they have a variety of candles to choose from. That store more than likely is not just selling 2 candles or 10 candles. They're probably selling 50 different candles or 100 different candles. So think about that when it comes to your ability to be consistent. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Are there listing tools out there? Yeah, and we're going to talk about those. But do you have the capacity and the ability to be consistent? Can you maintain or sustain creating 1 new listing a day? Would you be able to take on 2 new listings a day? At the end of the year, you'd have 730 listings up. You can tweak them as you go through. You can decide what your process is going to be, but consistency is going to be the key. So having a lot of listings and variations of your listings and a variety of your listings for your niche is going to help you. And it will also help you establish and build your brand. And then the next one is longevity. Because of the fact that they can see your store and they can see when it was created, longevity is what's going to help you to continue to get those repeat sales. Looking at that number at the bottom that says they've had X number of sales and they've been in existence for this long, that is not for nothing. People are always going to go after those stores that have been here longer when they're thinking about buying stuff, potentially over your stuff. So one of the first things you got to do is we got to get you your first 10 sales. And when I'm focusing on your niche, we're going to run the gamut of that particular niche. We're going to start with the printables, and then we're going to move to physical products, and then we're going to move to KDP products in that niche. I'm keeping you in your niche. You don't have to stay, but I'm keeping you in your niche as part of this journey. So then that way we can build out that niche, and something in that area is going to appeal to a specific person in your group. I mean, it's going to appeal to somebody. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, we got everybody. So it's going to appeal to someone. Okay. So there's a reason why we're going down this path, and everything that we're doing is tying back to the original niche that we started off with. So your goal is, in order for you to get to this place where you have an Etsy store that, is selling millions of dollars or selling thousands of dollars, whichever one, we got to get your first 10 sales. Extremely important. We got to get that done. The next, you got to work on reviews and listen to any feedback you get back from your customers. So working on reviews, every platform has a terms of use, terms of service policy. You can't buy reviews. You can get in trouble legally for that. But depending, in some platforms, they don't even mention that. But you can ask for feedback or a review. You could include, if you're shipping the thing yourself, you can include a little card that says, we appreciate your feedback. If the service wasn't 5 stars, please tell us how we can improve ourselves. Sometimes people will include a coupon or a discount. And again, some would perceive that as buying reviews or buying feedback. Not trying to get you guys in trouble, just letting you know that you want to make sure you understand the platform that you're selling on, what their terms and conditions are when it comes to reviews. But you can always send a follow-up email to your customer and ask them for feedback or reviews. You can let them know if you're, the one thing about when we talk about Shopify, you'll be able to own your customer, so you can email them whatever you want to on a regular basis. Not that you can't do that with your Etsy buyers, but again, you need to understand the terms of service and the conditions that you are limited to when you're selling on different marketplaces. You want your store not to look abandoned. So I go back to, they have lots of listings. Lots of listings implies that the store is not abandoned. 2 listings, 5 listings, 6 listings. It looks a little suspect. It's probably try to fill in the store. It's kind of like that Instagram grid. I was told for the longest, Nicole, you need to fill in your grid. I'm not an Instagram girl. I'm not your gram girl. I'm not. But I was like, what do I need to do to fill in the grid? Just tell me what I need to do, because clearly I am not an Instagram person. So that was always the running joke with me and my team, is that they would tell me I need to fill in my grid. The same thing sort of indirectly goes for you. Like, you need to be consistent about creating listings, and over time, your page will look fuller. Your store will look fuller. So being consistent, establishing your social media accounts, making sure that they are up and running. You don't have to do them from day one. You can have an objective that says, okay, this month I'm going to focus on just being consistent with creating one new listing every single day. So that's this month. Next month, I'm going to work on bringing up my Facebook business page and continuing to be consistent. The following month, I'm going to bring up my Instagram page and I'm going to work on continuing to be consistent. So you can gradually get to that place. You don't have to do it all at one time, and you don't have to be overwhelmed with it. There's tools that you can use for scheduling your social media posts, like Later or Promo Republic or Socialmonials and things like that you can use to schedule your social media posts regarding your business. And then you need to focus on your product, the quality of your product. That will help you with a lot more word of mouth, and also help you with some of the reviews. If whatever product you design, develop, right now, again, we're starting messy, we're starting whatever you want to call it. It's going to be imperfect. We're taking imperfect action. We're just starting, much like learning how to ride the bike for the first time. It's imperfect. It's not going to be, it's going to look funny from a distance. And it's not going to be perfect. But over time, with repeated practice and consistency, we get a little smoother, we ride a little straighter, we're not as wobbly. And so that's the thing that you're working to do. You're working to look like a more polished store over time. Your storefront is not going to look perfect from day one. And don't let that stop you. Just get started. Someone will buy something from you at some point. I'm not going to tell you when that's going to happen. Work on your storefront, get your account set up, get your first sale, like work on getting your first sale. Do what you can. Make sure that you're sharing your listings onto your own social media page if you are working to get some sales, or to your business page for sure. So those are my tips for you for having a high performing Etsy store. So Etsy is not the end all be all. You have a lot of other options available to you. You could set up a Wix store. You could set up a Weebly store, which I believe Weebly is now, oh God. I can't remember what Weebly is now. It's the, Lord have mercy, Square. Is it Square? I think Weebly is Square now. Square is that little thing that people use to purchase when they go to, I think of going to our local fair, because I always see people with their little Square device that's on the top of their phone so that they can take your credit card and they could swipe it. Anyway, so I think Weebly is part of Square. Wix, you can set up a store there. You can set up a Shopify store. You've got WooCommerce, you got BigCommerce. So when it comes to print on demand, you have a lot of different options to use. If you want to set up a free store, remember, after you set up your Facebook business page, you can set up, that can be a Facebook shop. So if you don't want to do Etsy, Facebook shops is an option. Instagram shops is an option. Again, some people are already on Instagram. Some people are already on Facebook. And so instead of creating a Etsy store, you can create a Facebook shop or Instagram. You can also do all three. That may be something 6 months from now that you want to establish yourself, and you want to convert your Facebook page and your Instagram page into a shop and deal with either integrations or separate, have the items processed separately, however you want to do that, because there are integrations available. You can decide to do that. So then that way, that increases your traffic and increases your chances of getting more sales. You'll be handling sales from different platforms, but again, it increases your chances of getting more sales. So the great thing about Facebook shops is that it's from your mobile device. So they can, just like they can find stuff from Etsy and from their mobile device, they can definitely go to your Facebook fan page or your business page and buy things from there. Facebook shops is available or can be connected to WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram Direct, so you can answer questions. You can offer whatever you want to, because of the fact that you're setting it up yourself directly. and they do support payments. So I had, it's inactive right now. I had a Facebook shop. I probably will reopen it before the end of the year, but I had a Facebook shop open before, and they accept, they process payments. If you're selling on Facebook Marketplace, some of the same commerce related questions that you answer over there will be connected to your Facebook shops and your Instagram shops, because Facebook and Instagram are both owned by Meta. So here is an example of a couple of stores that are the Facebook shop. You can see here that this particular Facebook shop, they've got a price for their shirts. This is, I believe, this might be the Instagram, not Instagram. This is the Facebook shop. So here is, I had to think about what I did here. These are two different stores. So this is Spear Baby, and this is Spear Baby. And then this is Tiny Tinsel. One of these, I think, is an Instagram shop, and one of them is a Facebook shop. So that's the reason why they look different. But in any case, you can see here that you have a lot of flexibility on what you can do. And with print on demand, selling apparel, selling things that you can print designs on. Clearly, this is all print designs, like leaves and flowers and cactus and plaid and whatever else. So you got all these print on demand options that are available to you from a product standpoint, and you can create your own Instagram shop and your own Facebook shop. So I want you to think about that as an option for later on. It doesn't have to be anything you explore today. Or if you've already worked for Facebook shops, you can move forward with, integrating your supplier, your print-on-demand supplier, with Facebook and with Instagram. I believe if you go to Printful, like, they have a list of the integrations that are available. And I feel like Facebook is on either Printful or Printify. I can't remember. But you're going to have some limitations on what integrations are available. So that may mean that there's some manual intervention if they buy from you, depending on which print-on-demand supplier you use. Okay. So before you start with Facebook shops, you do have to have a business page. You're going to go through and manage permissions, and then that way you'll be able to create a catalog for your particular store. The integrations to import your items into your Facebook shop. Shopify is one integration that's already there. BigCommerce, Channel Advisor, which I was talking about Channel Advisor the other day. Commerce Head, Feedonomics, CED Commerce, AdMark, I don't even know what that is. Data Critics, sort of looks like that, clipped in Zentel. Zentel I've heard of before. Channel Advisor for sure, BigCommerce, and Shopify. So there's integration. So if you decide that you want to open up a Shopify store, you can definitely do an integration from your Shopify store into Facebook shops. You can also do an integration from your Shopify store into Instagram shops. And you can also do it with Google Shopping. So again, getting yourself more exposure, more potential sales. Think about that long-term, bigger picture. You don't have to do this today, but if your listings were available on Google Shopping, if they were available on Facebook shops, Instagram shops, and Etsy, you're going to be everywhere, which by default will cause you to get more traffic. The traffic may not be centralized, and so in order to have centralized traffic, you could do the integration with Shopify. That way you have a little more centralized. So you have your traffic coming from your Shopify store, from all those other sources. And then you also have traffic coming from your Etsy store. And there is an integration from Shopify to Etsy, just so you know. So Shopify can handle it all and push it out to the other platforms. I don't recommend setting up all of those integrations until you're prepared to handle it. That's 1. 2, you're consistent. And 3, you're into profit. If you're not into profit and you're not consistent, don't go do all that. Because as soon as you start getting traffic and start making money, then you're playing catch up and you're trying to figure out what to do. So if you're going to decide that you want to open up multiples, I recommend that you master one platform for 1 month. Then the next month, add another platform. Then the next month, add another platform. Then the next month, add another platform. So then that way you can build your empire. Because all of us deserve to build our empire. So don't do it all at once, because you will be overwhelmed and you will quit. I'm just saying. So with Facebook Shops, again, you have 3 checkout methods. If you have ever bought on Facebook Marketplace, you probably already set up some stuff because you have bought things from Facebook Marketplace, and they're going to ask for some additional banking information. They're going to again, it's going to walk you through the process. This is literally walking through the process. So you could step through these instructions step by step just to be able to do this. And once you are done with setting up your Facebook shop, then you can either take advantage of the integrations that I previously mentioned, or you can manually create each one of your listings standalone. It's ultimately your call, your choice. But I think securing your social media is going to be key. And if you decide that you're going to change up your entire store later on, you can decide what you want to do with your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and all the other integrations you have in place. If you don't want to keep them, that's fine. If you want to sell them, I will tell you, if you're building a brand and you've already got social media assets for your Facebook, Instagram, you're established on Google Shopping, you're established on Shopify, you're established on Etsy, and you're established in other places, you're going to look more attractive to a buyer as an established buyer because you already have all these integrations in place and or already have all this setup done. So when you go to Commerce Manager, you're going to click on Get Started because you want to sell on Facebook and you're going to open up your shop. You have Create a Shop or Create a Catalog. You're going to create a shop. Then once you click on Create a Shop, it's actually going to take you through all these steps here. Okay, all these steps here. And then once you are done with all those steps, it's literally you're going to click next. It's going to take you through your payment method. Then you'll hit next again. You'll finish that. Then it'll tell you through the sales channels, whatever sales channels that you're using, whether it's Instagram, whether it's, Shopify, BigCommerce, whatever it happens to be. Then it's going to have you add your products. So you'll hit next, and then you'll see a preview of your store, and you'll be able to look at your store. So when your store is up, imagine if you're like selling home goods. So this is an example of a store. This is not a print-on-demand store, but this is a store that sells home goods. And so this particular store, this is like the front end of the store. And again, we saw the front end of a couple of stores before, I think back here. So, setting up your store from that standpoint. But anyway, the front end of the store. And just imagine the things that you could sell. You could sell throw pillows with words on them. You could sell wall art with quotes, or I don't know, butterflies. You can decide what it is you want to sell, because the great thing about print on demand is there is a lot of different things that you can sell. You can sell blankets and throws that are custom designed. So could you have a home decor store with just print on demand? Yes, you could. The other thing is Shopify. Shopify is one that I definitely recommend. But again, you need to be into profit. I will say, of all of the different platforms, I feel like Shopify in some aspects could be long-term, once you get your brand going, could be better than selling on Etsy. Etsy and Facebook have the lowest platform fees. They do. From a selling standpoint, they have the lowest platform fees. Shopify is going to charge you. They do have a bunch of integration apps that are free, and they have a lot of apps that are paid. But when you have a brand established, you want people to come to your brand name. That's why we buy the domain. That's why we get the domain. So if they can come to your brand name, they can find you on Etsy, but they're going to go to etsy.com/your brand name. They can find you on Facebook Marketplace, but they're going to go to facebook.com/your brand name. If you have a home place, a home base where your store exists, they can come directly to your store at any time if your store is memorable. So, like, I don't know, Sally's Home Goods. So if they found something that was really cool about Sally's Home Goods, they go to sallyshomegoods.com, and lo and behold, you have a Shopify store set up. But again, only after you're consistent into profit and all that other stuff. So what is Shopify? Just another storefront. It allows you to actually set up a store versus it being a storefront on a marketplace. Etsy is a marketplace. Facebook is a marketplace. Amazon is a marketplace. Walmart is a marketplace. All of these are marketplaces. Shopify is a store. And so you can create your own Shopify store. You can design it however you want to. That's the thing that I like about Shopify. So you can do whatever niches work for you when it comes to your business. If you want to do, if your niche is wall clocks and you're able to find print on demand wall clocks, you can create a niche store that's just focused on wall clocks and go to town and have a lot of fun. If you want to create a store that's everything Christmas, you can create a store that's everything Christmas and go to town. So Christmas pajamas, Christmas house shoes, Christmas outfits for your pets, Christmas wall art, Christmas decor, like all of the Christmas. And that way you can incorporate, you can do a combined Shopify store and a dropship store combined. And there's a lot of people that do that. They have the integration for their Shopify, they have the integration for their print on demand products with their print on demand providers, plural. And they also have their dropship providers, plural, but they're still focused on one thing. So with your Shopify store, this is just some information about Shopify. It is easy to set up. Shopify is going to host it. You get a dashboard. You got access to a bunch of themes. The themes are the look and feel of your store. We're going to look at some Shopify stores here in a second. You have an infinite number of products you stored in a database. So again, they are doing all of this for you. You have some stats about your store. And, you can put a pixel on. You have the ability to put a pixel on your Etsy store. You also have the ability to put a pixel on your Google shopping list. And also, I'm trying to remember everywhere. So there's places where you can put a pixel. And there are platforms where you don't have the ability to put a pixel. The reason the pixel matters is because if you wanted to run ads, you can retarget those people who came through your store and didn't buy. That's why a pixel sort of matters, because you can do retargeting. They have free and paid apps. So there's a lot of marketing apps for the platforms that I've mentioned. They have 24/7 support. They do. They're integrated with social media, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever. And you can sell products, physical products. So let's say one day you decide that you want to go to your local swap meet, and you have maybe your returns. You decided to keep your returns. You can go to your local swap meet and sell your returns and use Shopify as your source for processing those transactions, your Shopify store to do that. And they also do have a big community. So you have to decide when it comes to Shopify, you need to figure out what your business model is going to be. We're going to start with print on demand as the assumption, because this is a print on demand challenge. Then from there, and that's meaning that it's going to be a print on demand only store. And then you have to figure out what your niche is going to be, who your audience is, what the keywords are, all that research that you've already done if you've established your Etsy store. Then you can do some additional product research. So look for the integrations. There are so many integrations with Shopify when it comes to print on demand suppliers. I feel like there's at least 20 or 30. So you're not limited on what you can do with Shopify versus some of the other platforms. You are limited. Just telling you. And then you can also look at dropship suppliers. Again, having the ability to connect, 2 or 3 print on demand suppliers and 2 or 3 dropship suppliers. And that's not the limit. That's just saying you're choosing that is cool, because then you can mix and match your products and it's easier for you to make bundles. Your branding, we've gone through and talked about branding before. Doing your store setup. The store setup, if you guys decide, any of you, I don't care, whoever's listening, if you come back and listen to this 6 months from now, I'm saying it right now. If you want me to help you set up your Shopify store, I will do it. But you got to be ready to go, and you have to have your Etsy store up so I can see it, proving to me that you're ready to go. There's nothing like working with people and sitting down and you do all this work with them and they do nothing with it. So if you're up and going and you want some help getting your Shopify store going, I will do it. I'm raising my hand and I'm going to do it absolutely free. So all you have to do is message me or email me. Then you will have to do possibly some marketing. Now, think about this. You're established on Etsy. You're established on Facebook. Now you're established on Instagram. You're established on Google Shopping. And you also have some listings up on eBay. So you're established on eBay. Your brand exists in the universe. Your brand, there's brand awareness because of the fact that you're everywhere. So marketing may not be as big of a problem. as I said before, if I am going after whatever the name is, Sally's, I forget what I said, Sally's something, before, um, think about that. I can, you can find me on facebook.com// Sally's, whatever I said before. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Etsy, same thing with all the others. So if you go to X, whatever Sally's, what did I say Sally's was? Sally's shop. I don't know. We'll go with Sally's shop for right now. SallyShop.com. If I go to SallyShop.com, now I'm connected to her Shopify store. I can see whatever it is I want to see. So if your brand has done a good job on all the other platforms, people will naturally and organically try to find the store itself and maybe not remember, oh, I remember it was Sally's shop. I don't remember what platform it was on. Let me just see if they just exist. And then, oh, by the way, oh, I bought the domain. And yes, I do exist out here on Shopify. So your marketing dollars to promote yourself may not be as big as you think they're going to have to be if you do a good job of establishing yourself on all the other platforms. So start with that. Etsy is not free, but it is inexpensive. Facebook Marketplace is not, well, to establish yourself at the shop is free, but there's going to be some processing fees. So again, it's not free, but you can put your listings up there. You can either just cross share them so that way you're creating backlinks back to Etsy, or you can actually establish Facebook shops. You can decide. Same thing with Instagram. You can share the listing on the Instagram, which is free, or you can actually establish an Etsy Instagram shop. Google Shopping, if you're using eBay, again, you can create the listings directly on eBay, and you can set up the integration between eBay and Bonanza, and that will automatically send it over to Google Shopping, thereby streamlining the process for you. So all of those are options, and that could reduce the amount of time and money you have to spend in marketing. And the great thing about that is that now all those email addresses you've been collecting, you have a place to store them, and you can market to those people at any time, automatically driving traffic to your store and getting all those sales Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all the other promotional times. The other thing is that you have analysis that's available. Just a minute, Nicholas. I'm teaching right now. You have with Shopify, you have the ability to do some analysis. So that's what I like about Shopify. I knew I couldn't go through all of this in this session because Shopify on its own is, I love Shopify, just so you guys know. So you can decide on a niche store. When I say general store, it's really not a general store. It's like Christmas. If you do a Christmas store, you can say it's a Christmas general store because you can sell all things Christmas, but it's still a niche. It's just a broader niche is really what it is. Print on demand, drop shipping model, or a combination of a print on demand and drop shipping model. That's what you have available to you. So if you're passionate about a specific niche, you have the ability with your Shopify store to grow yourself over time and to have a much bigger presence, much bigger store, and to make more money. With that, I have some stores to show you. I'm just going to show these real quick. So this is a print-on-demand store, believe it or not. Designed to inspire. Okay. So I don't know how they're able to get this. Maybe they're licensed to be able to do this. But anyway, this is a Shopify store, a real Shopify store. And they must have gotten licensed approval, because they're selling Tiger Woods. This is Tiger Woods. They're selling Michael Jordan. They're selling Monopoly. And that is Dennis Robbins, the back of his head. These are new arrivals, which is pretty cool. This is other motivational stuff, and this is Monopoly. So I'm very curious about this particular print-on-demand store. They must have approval to be able to do this. I would not have thought that. But yeah, I did a search for print-on-demand stores, just Shopify print-on-demand stores, and this store came up. And they have a lot of licensed stuff. Wow. I don't know how that's a print-on-demand store, but they say it is. So I'm going to move on. Okay, so this is the next one. And this is a print-on-demand store. So this one, landscapes, wildcats, family gifts, proud to be American, oceans and waters, hustle and grind. I'm very curious about hustle and grind. Let's go see what they have. So they are doing wall art, print on demand. and get shit done. Yeah, pretty much. Hustle, I do like that. And there's a couple of quotes. There's a card there. Work hard, dream big. This is a pretty cool print on demand store. Some of you probably didn't even think about this. Having useful skills to live every day. Love it. Love it. So, this is a print on demand store, guys. Can't believe it. And look at the ratings there. This is a gorgeous store, and it's a Shopify store. This is a gorgeous Shopify store, if I do say so myself. So that's Canvas. And then this one is Raccoon brand. And so this clearly is all about raccoons. It looks like they sell t-shirts, hats, and wallets. So they've got raccoons, and that's their jam. And they're sending themselves to, look at that, Amazon merch on demand. So they're using Shopify as a storefront and redirecting their listing when you get ready to click on it, redirecting you over to their Amazon merch. So if you're doing Amazon merch, this is like pretty cool. This is Amazon merch, guys. So they're sending over Amazon merch. So they're doing hats. Let's see if their hats are going over. There's only one hat. That's my game to get there. And it is on. But is it? Nope. Yeah. So they're selling hats. And then the other thing that they're selling, it says wallets. Let's just go see. So I'm assuming that these listings are physical products that are on Amazon that they have probably sent in. That's my guess. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. And it's got the raccoon on it. That is so cute. That's a raccoon on the side. That is so cute. A raccoon wallet to go with the raccoon brand, to go with the raccoon store. Okay. So I don't know. There's probably a print on demand wallet. I had never looked up print on demand wallet. Now I got to go look up print on demand wallets. Now I've gone down the rabbit hole just a second. I'll come back out of it. I did not know there was print on demand wallets. I mean, I would think that there are because of the fact that people like to get their names engraved on stuff. Now I got to go figure out where the companies are best selling. Okay. I'm going to have to look this up. Now they've given me another idea. Okay. Print on demand wallets. There you go. Ah, okay. They're on my list. Printify. That's a bag. Okay. Personalized wallets. This new. Okay. This new looks interesting. All right. Let's get back on the horse, Nicole. The next store, let me go backwards. I know I went down the rabbit hole. The next print on demand store, this was District of Clothing. And so District of Clothing, they are a print on demand store. They look like they're very simplistic in their designs and pretty straightforward. So trust Black women. Okay. All right. Oh, is that Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Okay. So they are selling mugs, so this tells me that they are a print on demand store. They're selling mugs, they're selling t-shirts, they're selling masks. So they've got a few different products that they're selling, all print on demand. And this is a Shopify store. It's a very simplistic Shopify store. I like that. This one is Pop Chart. This is a Shopify store too, although it doesn't look like Shopify. They must have done a customization. So this one is pictures, and they've got some other stuff in here. This is not all print on demand. Pop art. So they're selling art, much like the other Canvas store. And then here's another print on demand store. That's a Shopify store, grilling and chilling and refilling. I love that so much. Thermostat police. Oh my gosh, guys, this is hilarious. Lawn whisperer. Go ask your mom. I'm not sleeping. I'm resting my eyes. Beware dad jokes. Oh my God. Hey, hungry, I'm dad. That is funny. Lawn care is self-care. The blade of glory. This is so funny. Just fix it. So instead of, okay, so this is great because immediately you think of Nike because he used that They use the font for Nike, but they've got the little hammer, so you know. Anyway, and Nike is just do it, just so you know the difference. Sun's out, puns out. Fix it, Mr. Fix It. Pretty cool. I like this Shopify store. This one is pretty funny. This is a pretty funny one. So let me see. Did I have another one? Yep, one more store. Sorry. So this is another Shopify store that's a print-on-demand store. It's pretty straightforward, I think. I looked at it before. Yeah, sugar and spice and human rights. Will trade races for refugees. Oh my gosh. All right. So evidently they have a theme and they have something to say. So this is, I don't know. An activist website maybe, but it's pretty, I mean it's cute, it's funny, and they have a story. So in the middle, the great thing about Shopify is they will let you add a story. You know, you can add a blog post and things like that. So you can look at their summer collection, see what kind of shirts they got. Just no humanism. So they've got for women, for men, and hoodies. There we go. All right. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to see what other shirts. So I hope this is helpful. Something to think about. You can't do anything. Well, you might be able to do something with it today. I don't know how far along in your store you are, but I do want you to think long-term, bigger picture. Where do you want this to go? Where do you see this in 3 years, 2 years, 5 years? Where do you see this? Where do you see it going? Because you have the opportunity to do something absolutely amazing with your Etsy store, with your print-on-demand business. Don't put it down. Stay focused, stay the course, get going, stay consistent, make it work for you. Make it work for you. Very interesting. So any questions that I can answer real quick before we roll out of here? Any questions whatsoever? So I will stop sharing. Okay. No questions? All right.
All right. You know, I have one question, but you already answered it. So,
Oh, okay.
about combining printable and drop shipping items and stuff together.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is worth doing. Trust me on that one. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it for me. I got to go feed this child and clearly do something with him. So I will talk with you all later. I hope you have an amazing evening. And let's get these listings done. Let's get these products in these stores. Let's make it happen. See you tomorrow. Yep.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.